I cannot even remotely express my excitement today because not only am I one, not in Chicago, but two, and most importantly, I am with the most amazing special guest ever, Mr. Todd Parr. Mr. Todd Parr, thank you so much for letting us be in your home.
You're welcome.
And hi.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. So I, first of all, a huge fan, massive fan, and I'm dying to know how this all happened. How did the brilliance come about of these amazing books?
I think the simplest way to say is Snoopy. I love to draw Snoopy, and all through school, that's all I wanted to do was draw Snoopy. In fact, instead of my math, history, I wanted to draw Snoopy. So I did very poorly in school. I had to repeat second grade because I couldn't read to the level I was supposed to. But I never forgot I wanted to draw Snoopy. And so as I got older, I said, I am going to draw. I want to be an artist. And I did a bunch of other things, and I started putting my art on everything I could think of. Struggling and greeting cards and clothing. And somebody said to me one day, I like your art and the messages. Like, have you thought about doing children's books? And I thought, why, no, I haven't, because I barely graduated high school. And I don't tell stories, and I don't have characters. And then I realized you can't tell a story just purely from messages and art.
And that's one thing about your art. It is just so iconic. Like, you can go into a bookstore, and before I even know it's a Todd Parr book, I can just see the pictures and be like, oh, it's Todd Parr. Your drawings are so relatable. And, well, two questions. One, which comes first, the art or the words?
The theme, you know, when I did Be Who You Are, that was from an original painting I did 20 years ago, and it was just like, be who you are. Now, what does a book entail that's called Be Who You Are?
Yeah.
So then it was like, well, be this, be that, and then, so, you know, the words and the art came together. But always for me, it's the unpredictability of what I'm doing. What are kids least expecting?
You take on really heavy topics. Like, we've read the Goodbye book in class. Like, we've had to, but it like was able to help kids get through that moment. So why these intense topics?
Well, it's okay to be different. Really came about from, you know, my experience in second grade, not being able to read to the level that I was supposed to and having to repeat second grade. When other kids found out, they made fun of me. And of course that hurt my feelings, and I felt bad, and I didn't have a lot of confidence. And I never forgot that. So when I got older, I thought, you know, one of the things I want to write about is it's okay to be different, because we're all different. Some of us are good at some things, some of us not so good at others. That's okay, because we can learn. So everything I do really is derived from maybe my past or things I've learned since I've been writing books. When this came out 17 years ago, I think, I heard from so many people that said, finally, we related to a book that we were dealing with. I had no idea how many topics people would gravitate towards this book towards. So I learned from that, as well as I'm like, you know what else people are asking me? How do you deal with grief and loss for kids? I'm like, that's a hard one. So it took me 7 years, I think, to think of how would I do it. It was on the list. And one day it just hit me from an image in the family book. I'm like, fish, that's it. Goldfish, my goldfish. He died overnight. I knocked his bowl off my nightstand while I was sleeping, and he was dead on the floor. I'm like, that's how you do.
That's how you do it.
The Goodbye book.
Yeah.
Because I knew it needed to be done. I knew something needed to be done to help kids with saying goodbye, because it's so hard. Yeah. You know, losing a loved one, mom going to prison, best friend moving away. Yeah. It's like all these things, just how hard it is to say goodbye.
Well, I have to say, as a teacher, you've gotten us through a lot of hard conversations by just pulling, like, where's that Todd Parr book? We're going to read this one, children. This will answer all of your questions. Why is it important for you to take on this idea of not dealing with, like, kids, learn your letters, but kids, learn to share. Kids, be open.
I think it's who I am. I think along with the work of a 6-year-old, the experiences that I had, the things that I want to write about, I think it's just consistently with what I do. And I think one of the reasons that, you know, I end all of my books with a message now. And that's just that final way of reminding kids that whatever they may have taken away from the book, it just reminds them in the end something positive and love Todd, which has become a very signature thing for me with kids to look for that. But I think along with, first of all, it's engagement, bring the kids into the story. I want to engage them. I want them to have fun. I want them to feel better about the world, about who they are, about things that are going on around them.
When you wrote It's Okay to Be Different, people were writing you like, oh my gosh, I finally have this book that I can relate to. It's that teaching moment where it's like, wow, I made a difference.
They happen all the time, and for me, It's Okay to Be Different really was the book that defined who I was. This book is kind of the premise of everything that I do, and that is helping kids feel good about who they are, reminding them to be kind, and be confident. But I heard from so many people, because I have a page in there, it's okay to have wheels. So of course I heard from so many people that with special needs and things that related to that. And every page in there was a thought out process of what do kids deal with, along with it's okay to eat macaroni and cheese in the bathtub, because
let's be silly.
Because I said, Todd, this book's getting too serious. Put something in that nobody would think of or expect.
Yeah.
And then of course it caught on. Kids wanted to eat macaroni and cheese in the bathtub. Moms and dads were upset with me. And now to this day, people say, do you eat macaroni and cheese in the bathtub? And I say, no, I do not. But it's, I think, the humor
it's okay,
that helps.
Everybody's different. You don't have to. It's all right.
Yes.
You have a new book coming out. Can we talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. It's called Love the World.
And all I have is just the cover. It's so new, I don't even have a copy yet.
It's so new. It's still getting printed.
It is.
When's it coming out?
September.
And what's Love the World about?
Love the World is again from an original piece of art that was Love Yourself, Love the World. It's very simple, just concept, to help make kids better human beings. Like, love yourself and do things to help in the world.
One of my favorite topics, becoming better people. Todd, I can't say thank you enough for joining us today
Thank you.
and letting us come to your amazing house, because you have art all over, which is so inspiring. I may even take it up, possibly. Probably not. No, but thank you so much. And so September, Love the World comes out?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good to know. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Make sure you can go to No Small Matter, and of course, we'll have links to Todd's stuff, but check out Todd TV and toddparr.com, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Go there, go often. Take all the books, read it to the kids. So have a good one, and we'll see you guys next time.